Hello friends, it's Crazy Cheap Chick. I just got back from the grocery store and in a moment I'm going to show you my grocery haul and we'll talk meal plan. But I want my channel to be more than just saving money at the grocery store. So I'm also going to show you how to make a couple of things. Number one, I want to show you how to make apple cider vinegar. It's so easy to make. There's no need to be buying that. Number two, I want to show you how to make applesauce. Applesauce is also really easy to make. You don't need to be buying an applesauce, and it tastes way better too. I'm also going to show you how to save money at Goodwill. And what you really want to hear is how you can get $15,000 free. I said it. $15,000 free. Of course there's a catch. There's always a catch, but it is true and it's legal. So you're going to have to watch to the end to hear what it is. I want to show you my refrigerator before I go to the grocery store, because if my refrigerator's full of food, why am I going to the grocery store? I just need to eat what I have. I spent $68.85 at the grocery store this morning, and this is going to get me by for about 3 or 4 days at least. And I'm going to show you what I got. I start with the stuff I paid full price for. So the broccoli was $2.59, I believe. No, $2.49 for this big bunch of broccoli. The tomatoes were on sale for $1.99, but I must have had a coupon loaded because I always load all the coupons I can before I go to the store. So they rang up $1.54. This red pepper is $1.50, and the green pepper is 89 cents. They've raised the price on those. They used to be 79. Milk is $2.39. These 2 tiny tomatoes were about $1. I might have 1 or 2 tomatoes still out in the garden, but late season tomatoes aren't very good. I got 2 cans of chickpeas for 89 cents each. Bread, it just kills me how expensive bread has gotten. $3.29. I could have gotten some clearance bread that would have been about $1 less, but it expired within like 3 days, and it's just worth it to pay $1 more and have the longer expiration date. Don't buy crackers very often. These were on sale for $3.99. They would have been $2.99 if I'd taken advantage of a promotion where you buy 5 of various things, but I just can't play that game very often. So these were $3.99. These beef and broccoli seasoning mixes were on sale for $1. I usually make my own seasoning mixes or buy in bulk at spice stores like taco, spaghetti, chili mixes. I buy those in bulk or make them myself. This is one I've had difficulty making myself, and so when it's on sale, I just went ahead and bought 3 of them. Okay, now to the sale items. This Jimmy Dean bacon was $2.99. Now, I have quite a bit of bacon in the freezer, and I'm trying to use down what I have in the freezer, but that's pretty cheap for bacon. And then these potatoes, I don't think this was advertised. I think this was just my store. Must have got a whole bunch of extra potatoes in. And so they were $1.88 for 5 pounds. That's less than I paid at that produce auction. Now, I am really going through those potatoes I got at the produce auction. We eat a lot of potatoes, and our waists show it. We love potatoes. But those red potatoes I bought at the auction, they're good for mashed potatoes and diced roasted potatoes, but they're not so good for baking. And so I went ahead and got 2 more packages. Potatoes last 3 or 4 months, so I'll have no trouble using those up. And then this is my clearance stuff. A little Caesar chopped salad kit for $2.33. It's probably going to be my lunch today, or we might have it with dinner. These cube steaks were $3.91, and this beef for stew, $7.24. It had been $11.15, and then this had been $6.02. You want to save money on groceries? Buy less meat. Use meat as a condiment, not as the main course. This chicken was $3.93. I think it had been $6.05. So saved a little bit on the meat. And I've been doing such a good job going through my freezer. I think I've used all the hamburger, or almost all the hamburger chicken I had. And then this little guacamole container was $1.97. And they had avocados on sale for 88 cents. each, and I was going to buy a couple, and then I saw this, and I'm like, I'm just going to go with this. It's easier. I love avocado toast. This was probably my best deal. This coconut curry sauce was $2.39 a container, and that's at least half off. This stuff is like $5.49 normally, I believe. And I can make my own curry sauce, but it takes cream of coconut or coconut milk, and a can of that costs more than what this already made sauce. So I just went ahead and got 6 of them. I kind of wish I would have bought more at that price, honestly. You can't just think this week. You've got to think ahead a little bit. And so by buying at least 6 of these, I've guaranteed 6 future meals, or 5 future meals if we have one this week. Then this romaine lettuce was $1.83. I think it's normally $2.99. They had these chips for $1.73. Man, I've been getting a ton of chips on clearance. I'm probably up to about 6 or 7 bags. I'm going to have to start making some cookies, apparently. And then they had this jalapeno cheddar summer sausage for $1.61. So I went ahead and grabbed it. So what are we going to eat this week? I have not been very hungry in the mornings. But if I do feel like eating, I can always have avocado toast. We can always have cereal and milk, and I still have yogurt. So we got plenty of breakfast options. And then these meals, we usually eat the leftovers the next day for lunch or just a salad. So what meals are we having? Number 1, broccoli and beef. And I'm not sure I'll even use all this meat in the broccoli and beef. It's a ton of meat. I may save some of it and make a little beef and potato stew. Then I decided we would have some BLTs. So I've got the bacon, the bread, the tomatoes, lettuce, and I got crackers because instead of having potatoes as a side, I decided we would have tomato soup. I have tomato soup and I've got that milk, so a BLT and tomato soup. Then we're going to have cubed steak and fried potatoes with a Caesar salad. So that's another meal. And then we are going to have this coconut curry meal. I'm going to cook some chicken and add chickpeas and probably a little bit of this pepper and onion and serve it over rice as well. And so the coconut curry chicken is another meal. So that's 4 meals right there for our $68. Plus, we have plenty to go in the prepper pantry right here. And this beef, I thought might make a good snack. I've got some sliced cheese. And so some night when we're watching TV and we just want a little snack, we might have some summer sausage and cheese and crackers. And here's what the refrigerator looks like once I've put all the groceries away. It's not overcrowded. Today I went through my apple drawer. I had a whole drawer of apples and some of them were starting to get soft. And so I needed to do something with them. And so I'm going to make some cinnamon applesauce. All I did was core and peel the apples, and now I'm going to cook them. Only takes about 15 minutes or so because apples are soft. It doesn't take them very long to cook. And I'm going to make some apple cider vinegar. Now this is so easy to make your own vinegar. I'm not sure why any of us ever buy vinegar, but this is just the apple cores and apple scraps from these apples. And I've put it in a clean, sterilized jar. And you're going to add some sugar because you want it to ferment. And I usually add like a cap or 2 of regular vinegar to act as kind of like a starter. And this isn't Heinz vinegar. This is vinegar I made that I keep putting in this bottle. I'm doing about 2 tablespoons. Next, we're going to add some sugar because you want it to ferment. I'm probably going to put, I don't know, that's 4 tablespoons of sugar. I usually just kind of use a knife, poke in there, get things stirred up a little. I want it pretty much completely covered with water. You could use a rubber band to hold it on, but I'm just going to use a jar lid. That's what it looks like. Now this is going to bubble. And it's going to take it 2 or 3 weeks to completely ferment. And once it ferments, you're just going to drain out the liquid and you're going to have vinegar. And one time I made the mistake of after I made vinegar, putting a metal lid on it, and man, it corroded it really bad because it's an acid. But it tastes just like apple cider vinegar because that's what it is, vinegar. So easy to make your own. Sometimes I buy vinegar just because it's a certain flavor that sounds good, but it's so easy to make your own vinegar. And vinegar is one of those things that's starting to get pretty expensive. So even if you don't want to make vinegar right now, it's a skill you should know how to do. It's one of those things our grandmas knew that no one does anymore. Now I'm just going to put this in my pantry, which is pretty dark, and let it sit for 2 or 3 weeks to whenever it's done. Then you'll just strain it, and that'll be your vinegar, and then you'll throw the apple scraps away, of course. While those apples are cooking, I wanted to show you something that John Wayne bought me as a present. Do you know what it is? It cuts corn off corn on the cob, because it is getting harder and harder for me to eat corn off the cob. And man, does that have a sharp blade on it. And so I'm gonna buy some corn next time I go. I'll try it out and let you know how it works. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and put a link in this video in case you want to try it too. Well, the apples are cooked and we're gonna drain them now. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of cinnamon. Nothing special about this cinnamon. I like the Ceylon cinnamon. Now I'm gonna add a cup of sugar. Let's stir it up and taste it. Boy, that's pretty good, but I'm gonna go ahead and add another half a cup of sugar. Just a tiny bit of salt as well. All right, let's taste it. Oh man, that's pretty good. And I don't like applesauce. Whether you call this stewed apples or applesauce, it's really a pretty tasty dessert. It's almost like pie filling, really. It's really good over ice cream, I can tell you that. And it's really good with cake. You know, this brings back a memory for me of when my grandma was processing corn. I mean, she never canned it. She always froze it. And it was just, you know, a pain getting the corn off the cob. She probably would love something like that.
If you're doing a lot, I mean, they have ones that you like countertop mounted. You put it in, just push it through a hole.
I've seen those. Why do you get that kind?
Well, because I don't want to hold my countertop, don't have anything below. They're made for processing.
Okay.
So if you had, I have other ones, but then they seem really awkward the way they were made. If they wouldn't be stable because you'd have to put pressure on it. They were mounted to a bottle. So
I've seen people, they take an angel food cake pan and push it through the angel food cake pan. I don't know if it would work or not. I can't.
Well, the problem with those, ow, man.
You about stabbed yourself.
The problem with those type is that, you know, they're kind of a one size fits all.
Yeah.
You know.
Corn's not standard.
They're not standard, exactly.
Going to Goodwill, to me, is like a treasure hunt. I never know what I'm going to find. There's usually nothing I need. And so it's just doodads that satisfies my craving to shop. Got this bag of tennis balls, and they were $4.99, minus 15% because Tuesday is Goodwill Senior Discount Day. Then I got this shirt. I don't think it's ever been worn. It's a Chaps, and it was $5.49 minus 15%, so what's that, about $2.75? And this little white vest, $4.49 minus 15%. And then I felt like the universe must be telling me I needed to do a new table decoration because I found a tablecloth, never opened, never used, 60 by 84. The original price on it came from Kohl's was $25.99. Then at some point they had marked it down to $7.79. But I paid $6.49 minus the 15%. 2 towels, unused. And today was yellow tag, discount day, so this was half off of this, about $2.25 for 2 tea towels. I got this table runner. It was $4.49 minus 15%. Kind of liked it. And this table runner was $4.49 minus 15%. And this little trivet it's brand new. Goodwill has started selling some new stuff. I don't know where they get it from. $6.49 minus 15%. So that's how I spent my 30 bucks at Goodwill today. And Sparky, my dog, is going to love this. This is option 1. I don't know. And this is option 2. What do you think? Which should I go with? Well, friends, if you watch my channel on a regular basis, you know my husband, John Wayne, owns an electrical contracting business. Now, one of his biggest challenges has been hiring qualified employees. Back in our day, a lot of people who graduated high school went into the trades, but anymore, they push everyone to college. And a lot of people end up with a lot of college debt. Now, the nice thing about the trades is you get paid while you learn. So, for example, to become an electrician, it takes either 2 years of trade school combined with 2 years of on-the-job experience, or you can just do 4 years of on-the-job experience. And either way you go, you do have to pass a test to become a journeyman. Now, when you're going to college, you're just paying to go to college. When you're learning a trade, you're getting paid while you're learning the trade, and you have no debt at the end. So I don't know why people kind of moved away from going into the trades, but it's a great career that pays really, really well. Now, one problem he has is whenever there's a catastrophe like this hurricane down south, it will draw lots of people to that area to work, to do the rebuilding. And so in order to keep your employees, you have to pay as much as the disaster area is paying, or else they're just going to go wherever the highest wage is. And of course, that increases your price whenever you hire a plumber or an electrician. You're paying a very high price, because the businesses in your local area are competing with the latest disaster. Now, this comes down to how you can earn $15,000. Now, I told you there's a catch, but this is real. Now, for example, here in Topeka, they have a program, and the program is called ChooseTopeka.com. And it's a relocation incentive program. And they offer up to $15,000 to people to move to Topeka. Now, they pay part of it, but the employer also pays part of it. And that's how I know about the program, because my husband participates, and he has been able to obtain 2 really good employees to relocate to this area. One from Florida and one from out west. And the one from Florida, he came right before the hurricane hit, and he's super happy to be here. He really likes Topeka because we have a much lower cost of living here. And he said, I could never have bought a house in Florida. Now, there's always some qualifications. You have to apply and be accepted to the program, and whoever you go to work for has to participate in the program. But I had heard that over 6,000 people have applied to the program. I don't know how many have been accepted. There are some qualifications to the program. I mean, you have to be accepted into the program. Your employer has to participate. You have to live here for longer than a year. You have to live within the limits of the county. So there are some qualifications, but they're not super hard. And so if you have some skills and you're wanting to relocate to an area that has a lower cost of living, then why not Topeka, Kansas? Now, you might think, I don't want to go to Kansas. Well, there's a whole bunch of places that offer relocation incentives. I looked it up. There's a website called MakeMyMove.com. And there's a whole bunch of them in Indiana, Northwest Kansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Texarkana, Texas, bunch in Kentucky, bunch in Michigan, bunch in Iowa, West Virginia, Nebraska, all of these states that have low populations. Come on over, we want you. The state of Kansas is the 15th largest state. We have 2.9 million people in the entire state. That's less than the population of Chicago. And so that's why they'll pay you to move here. And it's a nice place. There's nothing wrong with Topeka. I've traveled to almost every state and several countries. There are way worse places that you could live than Topeka, Kansas. So I'm going to put a link to makemymove.com. There's also some countries that will apparently pay you to move there. And there's a website called 7seasworldwide.com that had some links to various countries that had incentives. And here in Topeka is called choosetopeka.com. And I'll put all of these in my description. And so that's how you can make $15,000 is to move to Topeka. These other states and cities, I don't know how much they pay. I don't know what their incentives are. And it's usually in steps, like you probably get like $5,000 up front, and then after you're here a year, maybe you get some more. Once you buy a house, you get a little bit more. It's not like one big lump sum, I don't believe. But I'm not super familiar with the program. I just know John Wayne's company participates in it. And it has worked out very, very well for him to attract employees to our area. Oh, and I did put the link to that corn cutter in the description of this video. Now, I am trying to do that Amazon affiliate program. And so even if you don't want the corn cutter, if you use that link to go to Amazon and you buy anything on Amazon, you just buy whatever you normally buy, I think I get like an itsy bitsy teeny commission just because you used my link to get to Amazon. So it helps me out if you do that. No big deal if you don't, but if you want to help me out, it's appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed yet, help me out. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be putting all kinds of ideas on here on how to save money, how to make money, just ways to be frugal. Debt-free is stress-free. That's the best way to live. So I've got some great ideas coming up. So I hope you subscribe, give me a like, comment, share. It's all very much appreciated. Now you go out there, find some great bargains, and let me know what you found in the comments. I'll talk to you soon.